Button.
Let's go.
Chet, welcome to Digesting Streams, episode 28. We have been doing this for far too long. No one has stopped us. How you doing, Chet?
I'm doing great, except for there is a freaking fly in my room right now.
It's just, hey, listen. Some people say we
It's
don't
the
have
special.
guests.
It's the special guest.
Special
Yeah,
guest,
it's just
a fly.
the special guest for the show, a fly.
Ah,
How about you, Quick? How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Do you know what? Do you know what came out 70 years ago today, Chet?
It was Godzilla.
Go, 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 Godzilla. No?
Can't believe it's 70 years.
70 years. Have you seen the Godzilla movies?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Sadly, all of them, the new ones.
Oh,
Sadly,
the new one's good. The new one's good. I've seen that's the only one I've seen. I've never seen the old ones.
but when you say the new ones, are you talking about Godzilla versus King Kong and all of that, or
Yeah.
just minus one?
No, the one that just came out.
Mine.
The one versus King Kong, rather.
Okay, yeah, I see. Oh
Which
well, I have a fact about this. Did you know that the Americans are banned, or at least super scrutinized on how they are going to use Godzilla?
Why?
Because they killed Godzilla during the 2000s, and Godzilla can't die. And the Japanese were like, "You cannot do that.
You can't kill
Godzilla doesn't
Godzilla?
die."
Oh my
Yeah, no.
gosh.
You
I had
remember
no
that
idea.
movie, right?
Yeah, I didn't know that he couldn't die. I just thought, oh, he's dead. There's no sequel. He's dead now.
No, he like Godzilla cannot die. And they were very pissed off, so we didn't have any movies or shows or anything about Godzilla after that because they killed Godzilla. So they had to reboot the entire thing, and that's why we have a Godzilla versus Kong right now. And they don't die.
But if he doesn't die, doesn't that tell you who wins? Because like if you know that Godzilla doesn't die, isn't that like a spoiler?
Kind of thing.
If one guy's immortal, you can't lose.
Special guest is in my microphone. Look at
Special
that.
guest is your microphone. Have I screwed up the sound settings? I hope not. They were calling Godzilla as Zilla, and he wasn't real. Well, there you go. Just take out the God. He's just Zilla.
Yeah, yeah, you see that? It's part of their name. You cannot kill God. Also, it's like a metaphor of like people or humans against super big natural disasters or things that they are not in control.
I mean, listen. Speaking of things that aren't in control, we it's gonna be a rocky few days in America.
Rocky?
Rocky.
Like the movie? Are we gonna start punching people?
I mean,
especially Russians.
I don't know who we're gonna punch. Don't know if we're gonna punch Russia. I'd like to punch Putin if I had the chance. That applies for any world leader. Actually, I think it's just a good starting point. But you never know. No. On today's show, we're gonna start with the live letter. Then we're gonna go into quick notes real quick. We're gonna talk about some happy. We're gonna try a new segment about happy news. I don't know if happy news is the right way to phrase it. We'll call it something.
I was gonna say like, are those news from Mr. Happy? Is
No,
that
no,
why
no.
they are called happy
It's
news?
just happy news. News that makes you happy.
Okay, nice.
And then at the very end of the show, we're gonna draw on my experience as someone who used to forecast elections and how to watch elections without taking a political side on this. We'll just say how someone who works in election forecasting probably would watch the election.
Or should watch the election.
Should watch the election, yeah. Let's just at the very end. That's the very end. So the election stuff happens at the very end. The beginning, we'll do the fun stuff. If you haven't voted, probably too late to say go vote, but you got a day to do it. But if you haven't voted by now, you don't have a plan to vote. I don't think me saying it's going to change anything. But hey, go vote.
You will have to explain me elections for non-American people.
Yes. Not too late. It's not too late to vote. Most states have same day registration or something similar to it, or you can cast a provisional ballot. I always have to cast a provisional ballot because I vote from overseas, and my place of residence is always a little bit funny to me. I don't quite get it. Yeah. All right, Jet.
Yes, quick.
In our favorite game, I don't know if it's our favorite. My favorite game. Hopefully, our favorite game too. The game we play the most. We had a live
Final
letter.
Fantasy 14. Yes.
We had a live letter. Keen observers of the show will notice that we're streaming under the Final Fantasy 14 category because we are talking about Final Fantasy 14.
Are you excited for it? Did you read the entire live letter already?
I did. I did my homework. I watched the live letter. I listened to the recaps from other streamers, mostly Mr. Happy, and the loud bald one.
Loud. Okay.
No, I'm excited, Jet. I'm excited. This is probably going to be the ultimate I've looked forward to the most, and that includes T. Which was the first ultimate I did, and the first ultimate I progged entirely with strats that my static came up with. I have told my static that we are the fruit static. They didn't go over well. That needed to be workshopped.
I see.
But we get to fight Thancred, and he's gonna be like Hibachi, and then kill us all. Or is that what he says? Hibachi?
I don't know. I only play it in English, and the only thing I remember from Thancred on that
English.
fight is only I can't protect her.
Only I can protect her. I sent a surge in ether.
And a lot of yeah. And that's it.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be so good. That's gonna be really repetitive, really quick. The great thing about top is that when you zone into top, it's pretty quiet. No, but the hibachi thing's in English, by the way, Jet. It's not a Japanese thing. He just says hibachi or Hitachi.
It's definitely Japanese.
It sounds. I only play in English. I remember him saying that every time he does this.
What does it hibachi means?
I don't know. It's what I hear when he yells it.
It's probably a skill he's using, and I'm assuming it's a Japanese skill of some.
I look forward to hibachi prog or Hitachi prog or whatever he says. Hitachi prog.
Hitachi prog. Are we fighting Naruto now?
Is that a Naruto thing? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm excited.
He's a Taken fan.
Listen, this will become a PvP enabled zone really quick. I actually did. I did a DRS clear last night, and when we got to the Minotaur, the raid lead announced this is a PvP enabled zone. Please drop the lightnings on whoever you want.
Damn.
And this meant that the whenever the melees got the lightning lightning stacks, they just started chasing down tanks. It was very, very funny.
Nice.
I managed to bully. I was a caster. I managed to bully a white mage and a black mage into running into the corner. That was very fun.
Jesus Christ.
Actual
Speaking
menace.
of Fru, which bosses do you think they are gonna appear for the ultimate? We know it's Tancred.
We know it's Tancred.
We know it's probably Shiva, and we know it's probably going to be Gaia in her Asian form.
Yeah. We get Metreon, Rin.
Mm-hmm. Rin.
Her.
Shiva.
Mitriva.
Mitriva.
That sounds not like that's not great. Mitriva.
I don't know.
Shivrion. It's an evolved form of Vivi. Shivrion.
Okay.
We're not going to have the lions mechanic. They told us
Thank God.
That won't.
Thank God.
I don't know. I didn't think lines was that when I was progging lines. I did not think it was the most difficult mechanic to learn. Um,
It is not. It is a super easy mechanic.
but
Just like towers and Harwin Hill, and a lot of those are very easy mechanics. That doesn't mean the people can do it.
we're gonna have Ice Rampant Ultimate. That is going to be fun.
Can you imagine they go into live progging and they forgot all the strats, bought the
Here's
Ilya strat, and we are forced to do Ilya strat for
it.
like a month?
I I remember when I was doing I just remember like I learned like the safe strat for it, and my group cleared without much of a DPS check, and then Ilya came out, and then everyone's like, "Oh, we have to switch that," and that was the first time I remember Party Finder changing from one strat to another. Like as a after like a couple of weeks, we changed from one strat to another.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I feel like that's the first time Party Finder did it. So who else is next? I think we're definitely gonna fight. I don't think we're gonna fight Eden Prime. That's not gonna be in there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I
You
don't think we're
don't
gonna fight
think
Eden
about
Prime.
Eden Prime? Okay, cool,
No.
cool, cool.
We're not gonna fight the bird. The birds. Actually, no. Maybe the birds will be in there. I think the birds could be in there.
Okay.
E7S. They could be in there. I think
None of the other primals then. No Titan, no Rastapasta, no Leviathan, no
um,
Ramu.
Ramu would be a fun one, just because I thought Ramu was fun, but I don't think Ramu or not Ramu. Sorry, Titan. That's one thing. Titan would be fun because I thought the square mechanic would be interesting. I think it'll be similar to Uwu, where you just get like a cycle of them at the end.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Fair
Yeah,
enough. But here's the thing. You can do that cycle at the end because you did them before individually, right? So you can like see the mechanics they are going to do,
yeah.
like landslide and whatever they have.
Smokers, black smokers.
Black smokers. Yeah, I don't know. I feel in my heart, I feel like Tancred.
This is Thancred.
This is Tancred. He's gonna start using the primals. I don't know if we are
Oh,
gonna fight them, but we are gonna see them in the fight, in the like the face.
okay.
So we should have what? Ramu, Ifrit,
Leviathan.
and no, he doesn't do Leviathan, does he
Why would he do Leviathan? It's just the knockback.
no, no. Well, yeah, it could be the knockback, the Leviathan knockback.
Leviathan knockback. It's
Mm-hmm,
water.
mm-hmm.
It's always a knockback.
Yeah, I think phase 3 or 4, it's going to be all the Eden
Okay.
things from the because it's Eden Prime, it's the birds,
Yeah.
and the Grape Lady, I think.
Grape lady. Oh, the lady with like 1,000 boobs.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay.
Then we will have in one of those phases we should have Rasta Pasta because it was really iconic. Then Shiva,
Yeah. Shiva for
then
sure.
just normal Gaia, and then both of them at the same time. And whatever happens at the end, I don't know what is going to happen at the end.
I mean, I think we end up getting. Well, I think you finish the fight on a version of Gaia, right? I think that's how the fight
Mm-hmm.
finishes. And I think there's a
Maybe.
mechanic where they combine like the Titan brownie squares with the Black Smokers platforms being split. Seven phase ultimate. I
Mm-hmm.
think it'll be unless there's a door boss. I think it'll be six. I just think unless there's a door boss, it's 6 phases, just like top.
Yeah, the only one with 7 is DSR.
Yeah, because DSR has the door boss.
Oh fuck! Now I'm thinking maybe they should just make Tancred the door boss.
I I don't know.
Like we just said, we don't want to hear Hibachi for the 1,000th time
How
on the
much?
week, whatever.
Only I can save her. That was Thancred. So when you
Yeah,
clear
maybe
Thancred,
door
you just
boss.
say that was Thancred.
That was yeah, yeah.
All right, all right.
Do you have your schedule already set for Ultimate Pro?
Do I have my schedule set? No, we don't have a full roster yet.
Oh.
I know. We have a month basically. We are trialing people. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I forget what roles we need, but the raid lead is in charge of it. I think I'm actually double dipping. I'm gonna be in two statics. I'm helping a group of friends also prog it.
Jesus
And
Christ,
that roster
quick.
is filled.
I I know you love the game, but two statics for Ultimate?
And then I'm gonna PF it.
Oh my dear lord. Why? Why you hate yourself this much?
Um, why do I hate myself? I I don't. So I'm gonna shout out Anki here because Anki is awesome. But Anki has something I don't have, which is an on-patch ultimate clear. I technically don't have it. I
Don't you don't oh on
on
patch.
patch,
Never
on patch,
mind.
on
Yeah.
patch. So I cleared DSR um, basically a couple days after the patch drop, the next patch dropped. Um, and I started T late and I finished it in the patch. I started it, but I didn't finish it. Yeah, I don't have an on patch clear. So Anki, who is a very great, is an awesome gamer, and I strive to catch up.
I see, I
Yeah,
see.
yeah, it'll be okay. But Jet, here's what I'm excited about. I'm excited about um, the PvP changes
Oh, they
because
are amazing.
first of all they're very good. The PvP changes are very very good. Having them on one data center is great because I've tried to queue into Crystalline Conflict and I can only queue on Crystal, and you never get a match on ranked. You never get a match. No one does ranked on Crystal. So I think this is useful because then I can just go to Primal and then I'll get a ranked match.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be great. Even when you're on Aether, for instance, right? That
Mm-hmm.
it's very full. Ranked matches only work for like a month, maybe,
Yeah,
of the patch,
yeah,
and after that is dead. So now everything on Primal, it would mean that probably rank will work the entire patch,
yep.
and you just can't get everything.
So and now we know that the final solution to this is a region wide between data centers party finder. We know that that's the final edition. They've told us they're working on this, but this is actually a very good development process because it lends itself to the idea that content might become data center centric. And what I mean by this is like
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
so just to give you, I have two examples. First, most of my when I was doing Blue Mage stuff, most of the Blue Mage parties were actually on Dynamis. Not because it was like everyone could get there, but that's just where like a community worked really hard to do Blue Mage stuff, and they were doing it on Dynamis. And so in my mind, oh, Dynamis is kind of no one does Blue Mage content, but Blue Mage content gets done on Dynamis. Um,
Okay.
and now I've been going through the Bozja stuff, and getting all the Bozja content done can be challenging because sometimes I'll try to get a Dalriata run in, and not enough people in the instance, the run doesn't get off. Like only two people in the run can be hard to do. So the idea of aggregating players on a data center to do specific content makes a lot of sense because that means that um, it might be easier to fill out a Dalriata run.
Mm-hmm.
In
Mm-hmm.
well in the Dawn Trail, it's hard if you're not in the right data center or whatever reason, it can be hard to get Dalriata to run fill up. But now, if we have data center centric content, that would be I think that'd be really good. I think this
It's
is
going to
a
be
step in
interesting
the
at the
right
very
direction.
least. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Um,
I'm I love that you saw the immediate action of this. I was just excited that they announced like, okay, this is the first step for us making region data center, not data center,
yeah.
party finder for everything. I was more excited about that than what you just said. Now I'm excited overall.
Yeah, because like they're coming out with what's it called? With the new exploratory zone. In 6-9 months, that content might not be so full. So you
Mm-hmm.
might struggle to get parties together to get it done. Now
Yes.
you could just go in to the party any if everyone has to go to the same data center for it. That makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense to me. I kind of like that. Now, Jet,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
here's my question for you.
Yes.
Why does Yoshi P hate his family? His
Oh,
American family. He hates
I don't know.
he obviously hates them because all of his content is coming out on November 12th or November 26th Ultimate, and then Christmas, chaotic alliance. Clearly, he doesn't want Americans spending any time with their families, which is fine. But seems to hate his family. I'm just
I
saying.
I I I think the Thanksgiving one is like, okay, Americans, you are not the center of the world. The Christmas one is like, okay, Joshi P, everyone does Christmas. What are you doing?
I don't know, man. I think that Yoshi P hates
Well,
his American cousins.
no,
He
I'm
just
assuming like someone there says marketing wise that probably a lot of Americans play the video game on that time because they don't have to work.
I mean, I've seen a lot of complaints, and I'm stealing this. I'm loosely stealing this take from this hot take from our friend M. But basically, the idea is that if you're a week one raider, world first raider, this is a couple days less of PTO you need to use.
That is true. That is true.
It's true. I still don't think it's. I mean, it's true, and the people who are complaining about it being over Thanksgiving, you're not world racing anyways. I'm just letting you know now. The people that are complaining, no, we're not. Do I have family to spend time with? No. What I've done the last uh, four Thanksgivings, I don't remember how many, three, four Thanksgivings. I've actually gone and hung out with Sly, aka Gray Fox, aka Happy's boy Blue. Um, he's not. I can't say
Okay.
you, my boy Blue. I can't say the thing. I know the thing. I just can't say the thing. He's like
Okay.
Sly, aka Gray Fox, aka you, my boy Blue. I'm not Mr. Happy. He's not my boy Blue. He's Happy's boy Blue. No,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
but what I've done is he does like an event where you just hang out on his stream, hang out in the FC house. Um, you meet people, you talk to people there. I've done that the last few years because I live in a country where they don't really celebrate Thanksgiving. Um, and once you've called your family, it gets kind of cold. It's kind of like I don't know.
Wait, how? Hold on. Why is the Europeans, the conquerors of the world,
Yeah,
don't celebrate Thanksgiving, which is technically theirs, right?
no, Thanksgiving is an American holiday.
Yeah, but it's not the Americans; it's the English.
Well, it's the English who traded. They're thankful that the Indians were willing to trade smallpox for land.
No, yeah. That's why I'm saying. Like, why is the Europeans not celebrating that?
Well, they didn't get the land. The English didn't get the land. The English in America got the land.
Okay,
It's
I
when white
see.
people traded disease and famine for land. I mean, that's a pretty
I,
good trade.
I mean, we say something like that, but we don't put the disease immediately. We just say they trade us mirrors for gold
Mirrors for
in
gold.
Mexico. Yeah, or gold for mirror, whichever. They gave us mirrors,
I mean,
magic mirrors,
magic
maybe.
mirrors. Yeah, magic mirrors. By the way, Jet, do you know that you can only buy a used mirror? You can never buy a new mirror.
Yeah. I know. I
You can't
knew.
buy a used
I
mirror.
knew.
The trade offer meme. I receive everything and you get nothing. No. No. So what will I be doing? I will. I will be in Sky, aka Gray Fox's Twitter stream. I'll be hanging out with his friends. Um, hanging out with people in there because this is one thing the Final Fantasy community does really well. It connects people who would otherwise be alone, and for that, I'm always thankful.
I need to refrain myself from making a joke of what Indy just said. Are you not going to cast the race, the world race, for through?
I don't currently have any plans to cast it. No, I did. I know Frosty asked for people, and I did not. I did not
Oh,
put myself
Frosty
forward.
hasn't done too much. He's just
Okay.
preparing everything. It should be like next week or something like that when we
Oh,
start hearing news about it.
maybe I will. Maybe if like because I have like because I know in the morning when it first servers come up, he needs people to go in the off hours. So and those are my lunch break hours. Yeah, maybe I could ask him, but I'm not certain. You came in
I see, I see.
third place in a 35-person league. Well
Oh
done.
my god, now
Well
I'm
done.
gonna have to make the joke. If
No,
you
no, 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 no,
didn't
no,
come
no, no,
first.
no, 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 no. I know the joke you're making. We make it about Athena all the time. We are just going to innocently congratulate Indy.
Okay.
PG-13
Okay,
for
okay.
now.
Cool. For now.
For now. No. Um, and then we get to my favorite part. My favorite part of every Yoshi P stream. Whoops. When Yoshi P just holds up pictures of slides. And this is a warrior weapon. I just
Mm-hmm.
he holds up he prints out a PowerPoint slide and holds it up. And at some point he should stop doing that, man. He just let the slideshow continue. I don't understand. I don't understand how this happens or what the process is that leads to him holding up pictures.
I'm assuming I want to think like in a professional way. I'm assuming they give this to Joshi P
Yeah.
like a day or 2 days before and I printed and said, okay, this passed, this not, this passed, this not. And then he just, instead of making a new presentation just for the show or the live letter, he just takes it.
Just holds up the camera. Look at what we're creating.
Yeah. He now, having said that, he needs to change the background of those presentations, of those slides,
Uh,
pictures, whatever.
because of the drippy
Ha-
one.
no, because yeah, have you seen the red mesh one? It's like you don't see the entire thing because everything is white. Everything is white.
I like what Indy does. He he screenshots Yoshi P holding up and prints that out and then holds that up. That's what we should do, Jet. Next stream, next live letter, I'm just gonna print out Yoshi P holding up a picture of Yoshi P holding up a printout. That's what we'll do, and we'll do our entire presentation me holding things up. I don't know, Jet. This is one of the endearing things that Yoshi P does. I don't get it, but it is endearing. I think it's kind of at some point he needs to not do this, but I'm excited that he does it because it's just one of those things like like if Yoshi P didn't do this, that would be the first tell that he's been kidnapped and
It's because
replaced.
he's a boomer.
Yoshi's a boomer. Yeah, I mean he is a boomer, right? He's like 50.
Yeah,
Something.
he definitely is a boomer. Yes.
Is
If
he a
he's
boomer?
older than me, he is a boomer.
All right. Well, you're the oldest one here, so I'll take your word for it. I think. Well,
I don't know.
all right. Enough
Anyway,
Final Fantasy.
apparently not enough for you. You're
The,
doing 3 statics.
I'm doing 2 statics and Party Finder for Ultimate.
Party Finder is a static that changes every week. Body is a static.
Party Finder is a static that you don't get to choose.
Yeah.
All right, Jet. Twitch is changing their content their content guidelines to create even more different categories for streamers to stream in,
Mm-hmm.
including so that people can stream in politics and people can stream in I don't know, more hot tubs. When are we getting Jet hot tub stream?
No one wants to see Jet naked.
No, we don't want to see Jet naked. Just Jet in a hot tub. Just fully clothed in the hot tub.
They're fully clothed in a hot tub, but no water, nothing. It's
No
just
water. No water. No, just water.
Jet
Just
sleeping.
enough water to get your socks wet, because everyone knows that wet socks are the worst.
Absolutely. I cannot get a hot tub. The hot tub gets inside my bathroom and everyone gets out.
Here's the thing, Joe. I think eventually Twitch just ends up with everyone getting their own category.
What would be my category or your category, quick?
Well, my category would just be like streamer who streams a show once a week,
Streamer who streams one show once a
a
week.
once a week show with intermittent party findering.
I see. I see.
Jet, what would yours be? English, Spanish, Octopath Traveler,
Man as a streamer that rescues
streamer of many
memes.
rescues, can
Yeah.
rescuing people for the not rescue for good, but rescue for bad. I like
Yeah,
it.
yeah. That's only you and me, buddy. That's only you and me. No one else.
It's okay. Eventually, everyone gets their
Chaos.
own category. Everyone gets their own category. That's where I think we end up. That's where I think we end up.
Variety in sunglasses. Oh, I love that name.
Variety in sunglasses. Oh man,
I'm gonna steal it in the. I'm gonna steal it.
that's your stream description tomorrow. Variety streamer in
Yes.
sunglasses. So this will break the wall with everyone. Jet took a nap before stream and he let me know that he was taking a nap, and so I was like, I literally was like, he's not waking up. There's no way he's gonna wake up. I'm gonna have to do the show solo. And so if Jet didn't wake up, I was gonna draw a picture of Jet in paint, and I was like, well, how do I draw a picture of Jet in paint? So I pulled up like a stream of his that I had up from earlier. I'm like, oh, he wears sunglasses. All right, I'll just draw Jet in sunglasses and
No,
make that the stream.
But this is true. I sent a quick message. Okay, quick, listen. I'm gonna take a nap. It should take an hour. If you don't hear about me in an hour, worry
Yeah.
a lot because I'm gone.
I was like, there's no way he's waking up. As soon as I saw that message, I'm like, oh, he's not waking up. You did, but yeah, you did. You're here.
I woke up.
He woke up. Strong power nap. I'm a big fan of the power nap. I take a power nap before the show too. But the difference is I have if I nap for 3 hours, I still have 3 hours to prep for the show.
Not me. Not me. I usually can't nap either. I try to go nap and I get the full sleep. But this time works. It works perfectly fine.
All right. I'm going to queue up the first line of the quick notes real quick, so you guys will see it. And this gives me a chance to take some coffee and prep for the quick notes real quick. So.
I see. Dehydrated and feeling sick. Oh, yes.
All right, here we go. Quick notes real quick. X is changing its user terms and service to let it use user posts to train AI. Some companies are trying to create the smartest AI. X is trying to create the dumbest AI.
Yeah.
Russia fined Google $20 decillion. You know it's a lot of money when Google has to Google how much that is. That headline again: Russia fined Google $20 decillion. That is 100 quintillion times more than the world's total wealth ever created. Elon Musk says that Kamala Harris will shut down X and bring back Twitter if she wins the election. And apparently this was a warning or like a promise. I was unsure of who he was trying to win over with that. And that was our
future.
notes real quick. I think this is like when he said a couple things in this interview. One that he would be imprisoned, and I was like, "Oh, are you trying to win us over again?" Or another one was if Kamala Harris wins the election, she'll bring back Twitter, and I was like, that's such a good thing to do. Like that's not the argument you think it is.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of things when people are trying to, I don't know, slam on the competence or the opposite side.
Yeah.
For both of the parties, right?
Yeah.
And then say like something like this, like they are going to make Twitter like back in 2009. And like, are you endorsing Kamala Harris? Is that what you're doing?
Listen, I am a single issue voter, and that issue is I want Elon Musk to be unhappy.
Yeah, so I don't know. I find the politic times really stupid, frightening, and fun at the same time, equally.
They are. And the news. Turn the frogs gay. That was such a good moment on internet history. If you haven't seen this, noted veteran of the Infowars, said that they used water to turn the frogs gay, and that was a memeable headline that went forever. He also posted the same guy also posted like a workout before and after, like before and after. But the only thing that
Hmm.
really changed was he went more orange. That was just the before he looked a normal color. After his workout, just orange.
Yeah.
I don't know. I listen. My the reason we don't do a lot of political comedy is because politicians have to say the dumbest things because they're trying to say things that are focus tested to appeal to the largest number of people. And when you say things like that, you have to say inherently ridiculous things, just because you know how you have to make your messaging so broad and unspecific. Um,
Listen, for me, politics died when I was in high school.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it was high school. And there was like a time, an election time, allegedly to prepare the young ones for these
Mm-hmm.
times. So you could propose yourself as the group leader of your
Yeah.
classroom. So you had to go into other classrooms and like say, what were you going to do with this power? And on those 3 years, every single person that went there, they promise elevators in the school for a two-floor school. And I was like, okay, this is like it's never gonna happen. This is the most stupid thing ever. So and every year is like that, and I'm like, okay, those are the politicians of my future. I see everyone is just promising elevators in a two-floor school or even a one-floor school. But yeah,
I I was when I was in high school. I don't know if I was fortunate, but I the person I was dating in high school was class president for a while, and I never figure out like I never told her this, but like I don't get what they do. I never really understood.
listen,
I
I
supported them because that's
was
the right thing to do, but I was like, I don't know what you
sadly, I was the class president
do. Okay.
for my college generation for the entire generation.
Yeah.
It was against my will because we arrived. Okay, this is a long story, but we arrived
Uh
at
huh.
college, and I was like, I want to do something with my college. I want to make
Yeah.
something out of this.
Yep.
So let's make a cultural newspaper for the entire generation, and like everyone's here to write or read, right?
Yep.
So let's give them the thing. So I started talking to people and said, okay, I have this project, whatever not. Are you interested? And everyone said yes. And on the end of the second week of college, like the director and the other people came to the classroom and said, okay, you need a classroom representative. Who's gonna be? I was like, I don't know. I don't want to be. And no one like it was a full room of introvert people that didn't want that responsibility. But guess what? They all knew the jet. And they said, oh, that guy is going to be. I'm like, no. Why? And instead of the director said, okay, he doesn't want to do it. You need to choose someone else and do a voting. No, he said, okay, who's in favor of making Jed the representative? And everyone just raised his hand. And I was the classroom representative for 6 years in
Everyone in that
college.
classroom was like, "Thank God it's not me. Let's vote for him."
Yeah. And
Ah.
now answering your question, I just had to go into meetings and hear what they were doing with our money, allegedly, because it was not too much. The projects they were allegedly going to do that they never did in the school, and how the subjects and class would change eventually, and that's it. I didn't have
Okay.
any power or anything.
All right, Jet. Well, the news sucks, Jet. It just sucks. So
Yes.
we're gonna go to happy news. Now, happy news is not news about Mr. Happy. It is just happy news. News to make you feel good. This is a we haven't figured out the name of the segment, but we'll work it out
I
later.
actually think I did. How
Yeah.
about feel good news?
Feel good news. Feel good news. But
Like
yeah,
the
I like
song?
that. Yeah, feel good news. So
Happy Brambles.
happy brambles. No,
No,
that's the day one
that's a
ultimate
strat.
strat. That's the chaotic alliance day one strat. Happy brambles. No. So this is whenever I get gloomy about the state of the world, this is a story from 2017. It's not a new story, and then it's republished in 2020 by PC Gamer. Uh, Feel goods. So this is basically this is a story about a dad who quit his job to run a Minecraft server for. Originally, he started to do this for his children with autism, um, and then eventually it became just a community for became a server for only people with autism who could play the game without being bullied, without being insulted, without being spoken down to. Um, it's heavily moderated so that people join. They join and they get whitelisted to come back. Um, and it's just a story that like there are there are good stories out there. We try to do funny stuff on this show. Whether or not we succeed, whether or not we succeed, whether or not we fail, I don't know. But we're gonna try and end shows with a happy story or a feel good story, but not a story about Mr. Happy, a story about feeling good. And
Good news.
this is a story that I put in my back pocket whenever I. This is something I think about whenever I get gloomy about the state of the world. This is just something I think about.
I mean, that's amazing.
Just like a good story, just like a genuinely good story. There's no reaction to this, no jokes, just a genuinely good story. All right, Jet. As promised,
Artistic.
as promised. Artistic. Uh,
Here.
Listen, in some circles, I am hardly regarded. Um, no. For very last, just for like a closing bit here on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow is the American election, and um, the news following for the next week, probably 3 months, is going to be a bit up and down. But if you're someone, so just to give you some background, I used to work for the U.S. government where we modeled elections everywhere in the world. We used to model every election that was happening anywhere, including like mayoral races in South Africa to Brexit. We built a model for everything. Um, and what we would do is just report in like who's going to win, what the odds are going to win, things like that. So, with that in mind, how to watch news tomorrow? So, um, one of the stories I guarantee you'll see somewhere is XYZ location ran out of ballots, and then if you're on the left, this will be covered like this: XYZ location ran out of ballots. It's a minority community. XYZ people in charge made sure that they wouldn't get their votes counted and so they didn't provide enough ballots. That's usually how that gets covered on the left. On the right, it'll be covered like XYZ community ran out of ballots because so many people wanted to vote. You have to get your vote out there, and you have to get out and vote too because these people who are not voting like you need to have their vote
I don't know.
canceled out or whatever. Some version of that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
This is going to be a story you'll see tomorrow. I almost guarantee it. You get it every year. Um, the reality is that by law, as long as you get in line, you can have your vote counted. As long as you stay in line, you get your vote counted. Now, as long as you stay in line, problematic because if you have things to do at night, kids to take care of, work, whatever, you can't stay in line forever. But by law, as long as you get counted. So, what are you looking for in the news? What would I be looking for in the news? First, I wouldn't watch the news until late in the evening. I'm not
Oh, yeah.
I'm not like the first polls close around. It's gonna be like Indiana and Kentucky, and that's gonna be and those are gonna. We know which way those are gonna go. That's not gonna be. We're not gonna learn anything unless they go for Kamala Harris. That's not an exciting event. Uh, 7 o'clock is when Eastern is when the news might start to get interesting. Might, and I say might because that's when a lot of the East Coast polls close. And this is the kind. This is going to be when things are going to be bouncing around. A lot of places will get called. Um, the one to watch is North Carolina and Georgia. Um, if Harris wins one or both of those, it's going to be a great night for Harris. If she doesn't, we don't know. It doesn't mean anything if she doesn't win. It means something if she does win. If that makes sense. And then later in the night, so every hour after that, you'll get more and more coverage. Honestly, if you go to bed before midnight, you're not going to go to bed knowing who won the election. This is basically how
No, it should take what until 4, 3 a.m. if everything goes like correctly. If it's not too tight.
If we know the election by sunrise on the East Coast, for whoever wins, if we know the winner by then, that means that person. It means that if Kamala Harris has won, it means she likely won in a blowout. That's just kind of how the math works. If we think that Trump has won, or someone is projecting Trump has won, it likely means that he won Pennsylvania, and that's kind of the only thing he needs to win. Because if he wins Pennsylvania, it means a bunch of other states have fallen in line. That's just kind of how that sort of works. So Kamala Harris has a path to victory without Pennsylvania. It's tricky, but it is doable. Trump doesn't have that path because he has a much more narrow set of states he can win. And when I say win, yes, you can draw the map any way you want, but there's just certain ways that voters are profiled, if you will, to get to draw a path to victory.
Now I have questions, quick, because I don't know anything about the American elections.
Let me just finish with one more
thought. Go. So,
if the election is really, really close, this could drag out for months, and if they get a tie, that if they get any kind of tie that ends up in front of the Supreme Court or in front of the Congress, that's good for Trump. John Ralston in Nevada is very, very good for sure. John Ralston's a very famous pollster for Nevada. He's probably the second best election forecaster or pollster there is in America, behind Ann Seltzer. All right, sorry, I was just responding to the question from Jay Jesus.
All good. Right, how does it work? Sorry, how does the election work? Because, for instance, in my country, you just go vote. And then they just have to count every single vote of every person in the entire country.
Okay. In America, it doesn't work quite like that. So, not every vote in America gets counted. Basically, if you win your state, the state gives you a certain amount of electoral college votes, and you need 270 electoral college votes to win. Now, the reason I vote from overseas, and I'm almost certain that my vote won't get counted, even though it's in a battleground state. But the way it sort of works is they count votes until it's mathematically impossible for the result not to flip with the remaining votes. And then they stop counting. They just don't do it. So once a candidate has statistically a majority, not like 51% of the vote, but like once they've counted enough votes that the remaining votes can't change the final result, they stop counting the results. Now, when they stop counting them on election night or on reporting. They will eventually go and do the whole tallies. That happens later. This is also one of those things where the rules vary state to state. Some states you can count early. Some states you can't start counting until election night. It's rules vary all over the country. But basically, every state, if you're a gamer, every state is worth a certain amount of points, and you need 270 points to win.
Okay, next question. How do they decide how many points each state is worth?
By population. The more populous states, the more points they're worth, and it's loosely correlated. Not loosely. It's correlated to the number of your representation in Congress.
I see.
Yeah. And this is only for the U.S. president. Everything else is majority wins. So if you're trying to become a senator, you have to win the majority in your state. Census every 10 years. Yeah, every 10 years, American does a census. And just to be clear, it's not every citizen that gets counted; it's every human being in the state. So even if you're in the, I don't like the term illegal. If you're undocumented or if you're extra legally in the country, uh, you get counted because you, while you may not have the right to vote, you may not be a citizen. Um, you, in theory, consume public goods. You are. If your house burns down, the fire department doesn't go, wait a minute, can I see your documentation? No, they just put the fire out.
Well, they
If you have to go
should.
to a hospital, they if if you need medical care, they will treat you, and then they'll send you a bill for $1 million. Um, yeah, no, it's a messy system. It's not a perfect system.
Yeah,
I
I don't.
It doesn't make sense
I'm,
to
I'm
Europeans and other people.
no, yeah, I just thought it's different. Like I've seen, I was watching chat, and it just doesn't. Like my system's supposedly to be more democratic, but you also have like a shit ton more of problems of counting every single vote of everyone that goes to vote, and how they can manipulate that also in like in paper, right? Like they
Yeah,
can tell, oh, this amount of people came to vote, and they are just dead. They are not voting anymore. So it's like, okay, I get it. It's just that system. I just didn't know how it worked.
yeah. Oh, the other thing you'll
Now,
see, the other story you'll see in the news tomorrow is, dead people are voting, or people who are not alive are voting, or non-citizens are voting. And the reality is, elections are in the United States are incredibly secure. It is really hard to get away with voter fraud. Uh, it's just like not a thing that, um, like if I were modeling an election, I would never bother with modeling voter fraud because like the number of fraudulent votes that have been cast in the last 20 elections, or sorry, not 20 elections, the last 20 years worth of elections is less than 100 in a population of across all the elections. So a population of 300 million people, less than 100 fraudulent votes.
also, yeah, like every year, I think it gets harder to make a fraudulent election overall,
Mm-hmm.
unless you have all the power in the system, right?
Even if you have
Like
all the power.
Venezuela.
So one of the possibly the saving grace of American system is that the elections are decentralized. So they're run by the states. So even if you become president and you want to rig an election, you also got to rig every single
Everyone.
state
Yeah.
individually, and they all have different rules. So
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
what I'm saying. Like, unless you're a dictator of some
even
sort,
if you're a
it's
dictator, it's
really
gonna be
hard
difficult. Yeah, yeah,
to rig an election. Yeah.
yeah.
So if someone wins, just blame stupidity.
If someone wins, if the person you don't like wins, um, you gotta. I don't know. If the person you don't like wins, I want to
Like
say I want to say, oh, you should support them, but the reality is if the
no,
person I
no.
don't win, I would struggle to support him. I think he's kind of insane.
Yeah, in my personal opinion, like on my story, right?
Mm-hmm.
I voted the first time on 2008, and it was not for president. The first president I voted was 2010,
Mm-hmm.
I think. I don't know maths. Anyway,
Yeah.
no, 2000, 2006, 2012 was the first president I voted. So before that, we were in center right government.
Mm-hmm.
After 2012, we went from center right to basically alt right government. And 2018, we went from alt right to center left.
Okay.
So I've been like on the whole spectrum, right? Like you can like or not like the president. And the only thing is that you can do is accept who is in charge and just ask for the
Yeah.
things that needs to be done for your community or yourself, and that's
Um.
it.
Just a couple comments. Just to address a couple comments in chat. Because Trump's relationship with Elon, election fraud, I would struggle to see what the fraud is there. Is it he's obviously taking sides in what he proclaims to be a town square. So he's on Twitter. He's trying to rig the conversation. That is true, but that's not fraud. That's just him manipulating the media that he controls. I don't like it, but it's not fraud. It's not necessarily a crime. It is what it is. Anyways,
Yeah,
we're gonna say goodbye to YouTube. We're gonna hang out with Twitch chat for a little bit. If anyone has any questions on what it's like to model elections all over the world, I will happily answer them. Or any other East working policy or anything else. But goodbye, YouTube.
bye, YouTube.